Hey everyone, what is going on? It is LC Muscles here for my final video of a series of videos I've been trying to do for a while, doing Spurs predictions, and it's finally time to talk about the NBA playoffs. So, the NBA playoffs are here. It is going to be very interesting, and it's going to be one of those series that I definitely do have some things to say about it, but we'll see what happens because, like everyone else that's a true NBA fan, I am not hoping for another Golden State Cleveland finals once again for the fourth straight year. Dear God, help us all if that happens. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started and predict each matchup. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the Western bracket, starting off with the 1 versus the 8 seed, the Houston Rockets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves have not been in the playoffs since 2004, I think it was the last time. So they haven't been in the playoffs in a very long time, while the Houston Rockets are the #1 overall seed, one of the best scoring teams in the entire NBA, and rightfully so, the #1 seed. Literally, they will have home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs, and rightfully so. Who do I think that will win the series? I got Houston in 6 games. I think Minnesota will definitely provide some challenge, but in the end, though, I just think Houston's depth is way too strong for Minnesota to overcome. Minnesota's going to be a threat in the next couple of years, but right now, at least they got over the playoff monkey off their back, and they're in the playoffs for the first time in a long time. But they'll be a playoff for years to come. But I got the Houston Rockets moving on in 6 games. Who will play the Rockets? It will be between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz are a surprising team in the NBA, while the Oklahoma City Thunder are a strong force. They got Russell Westbrook once again averaging a triple-double. This is definitely a coin flip series, but in the end, I think the Thunder will take the series. I think the series is definitely going to be a lot closer than people think, because I think the Jazz have that run rookie who scores like 185 3-pointers in like a season or something like that. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting series, that's for sure. But I think Oklahoma City Thunder, though, are just too strong. With Steven Adams, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, and Russell Westbrook, it's hard to stop this team. That's why I got the Oklahoma City Thunder in 7 games. On the second half of the bracket, we got the Portland Trailblazers versus the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans definitely do have some pretty good stars. Anthony Davis is one of the best players in the league, while the Portland Trailblazers came out of nowhere to steal the 3 spot, and definitely a Damian Lillard and I'm trying to remember one of those guys' name. It's Damian Lillard and one other guy. No, it's not Marcus Aldridge. He's in San Antonio, but still, the Portland Trailblazers are a very strong team, and definitely do have one of those very, very strong teams that literally can go deep if they have good execution. I know Portland in general is not a very good playoff team. They have been in the playoffs before, but they usually lose in the playoffs. Who will they face? Who will win? But I gotta be honest, I gotta pick Portland in 6 games. I think Anthony Davis is gonna be great for the Pelicans, but you really can't rely on him alone. Portland does have good shooting depth and good playmakers. That's why I picked the Blazers in 6 games. And then the Warriors and the Spurs. If Kawhi Leonard was playing, I say this is definitely going to be a 7-game series, but no one knows what's going to happen with Kawhi Leonard. You really don't know, because many people think this could go either way, especially with Kawhi Leonard. It could definitely go any other way, but realistically, without Kawhi Leonard, the Spurs stand no chance. I got the Warriors in 5 if Kawhi does not play. If Kawhi does play, I think the Warriors will go in 7. Anyways, let's move to the next one. So, the Rockets versus the Thunder. James Harden versus his former team, Russell Westbrook, Steven Adams, Carmelo Anthony, Paul George all in the same team. This is going to be a great series. But in the end, I just think Houston's a little bit too strong for Oklahoma City. This is going to be a fun 7-game series, but the Rockets are just too good. They really are just too good. And I think the West is definitely going to be the hardest one for each team to really go through, just in general. Then we got the Portland Trailblazers and the Golden State Warriors. It's hard to bet against Golden State and Portland, even though they're going to exercise their playoff demons this year. Going into the second round, yeah, they're not really going to do much against the Warriors. The Warriors are going to be too good. Once Stephen Curry comes back, he'll probably be in full swing come this round. Give me the Warriors in 5 games, more than likely. Actually, yeah, I really see them in 5 games against the Portland Trailblazers. Leading to the conference finals, that is the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. Will the Warriors make it to 4 straight finals? Will the Houston Rockets make their first NBA Finals appearance since 1994? Oh boy, you got a lot of variables in this series. What will happen? Whew. The Warriors do have the more experience, but Houston's team overall is just way too strong. I think the Warriors do have much better depth than the Rockets, but I think the Rockets just have a better starting 5 than the Warriors right now, with Stephen Curry being out right now. Even with Stephen Curry healthy, I think the Rockets can provide a good defense with James Harden, Chris Paul. They can match up really well. So I'm going to take the Rockets in 7 games to advance to the NBA Finals since 1994. Who will they play in the Eastern Conference? Let's find out, shall we? We got the Toronto Raptors versus the Washington Wizards in the first round. This will be a 5-game series. I think the Toronto Raptors is way too good. The Wizards are definitely one of those teams that deserves to be the 8th seed. Even though I have somebody at work who's a Washington fan, yeah, it's not looking good. I really just think that the Raptors are too good. Give me the Raptors in 5 games. Next up is the Cavaliers versus the Pacers. My question is how the Pacers get the 5 overall seed. I really don't think there's many good players on the Pacers left, but somehow they've surprised the living hell out of us and got a 5 seed. But the Cavs are just too good. Give me the Cavs in 4 games. I really don't think the Pacers have much of a chance. Next up is the Sixers versus the Miami Heat. This is definitely going to be a very interesting playoff series to pick, but the Philadelphia 76ers are a very, very good team. The process has finally paid off. Their team is stacked. They have a great starting 5, but the Miami Heat do have a better depth than the Philadelphia 76ers. They could definitely have guys come off the bench and play really well, and Eric Spoelstra does have a lot of experience. The Sixers haven't been in the playoffs in a long, long, long time, and they are definitely going to be a strong team going into these playoffs. Ben Simmons looks like he's going to win Rookie of the Year. You got Joel Embiid and so many other great stars for the Sixers. It's incredible. I am so happy the Sixers are doing well this year. This is pretty much a matchup of 2 favorite teams in the NBA, the Sixers and the Heat. Either one of these teams will all be happy, but I would prefer to see this happen. I think this will happen more. I'm picking the Philadelphia 76ers in 6 games. I think Philadelphia can definitely outplay Hassan Whiteside in the Miami Heat. I definitely think they can outshoot him. Ben Simmons is just incredible and unreal. I just think Philadelphia will play better, and having home court will definitely be a huge factor. And then you got Boston and Milwaukee, the last series in the entire Eastern Conference. And for me, Boston does not look like a 2 seed. They have some issues. They don't have Kyrie Irving, which is huge for them. They don't have Kyrie Irving. They do have some good scoring depth, but I just think that Milwaukee, even though they're a 7th seed, they look like they can definitely knock down the Boston Celtics. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think that's his name. Yeah, it's hard to pronounce his last name. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He is going to be a stud, and I think that this is going to be my upset pick of the entire NBA playoffs. The Milwaukee Bucks defeat the Boston Celtics in 7 games. You heard it here, folks. Milwaukee's getting past the Boston Celtics. And then you have the number 1 overall seed, the the one received for the East, the Toronto Raptors versus the Cavaliers. Raptors and the Cavs have played very well against each other in the playoffs recently, but let's be honest, it's going to be the same thing that's happened the past couple of years. Cavaliers are going to come out of nowhere and absolutely dominate. So give me the Toronto Raptors to fall to the Cleveland Cavaliers in 6 games, like it's happened before. Then you got the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. They would play the Cavs, so I just had to make sure. But yep, you have the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks are definitely an interesting team. They have Giannis, like I said before. Getting past Boston would be tough, but I just think Philly would just have a much better team overall. And I think Philly could definitely defeat the Milwaukee Bucks pretty convincingly. Even though Giannis is their best player, it's going to be tough to stop him. But I think that Philly can stop the rest of their depth. So give me Philly in 6 games to beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Set up for a 4 versus 3 conference finals. The Philadelphia 76ers versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Sixers would have home court advantage. Oh boy. You thought Golden State losing was a shocker. Get ready for another, because I have the Philadelphia 76ers defeating LeBron and the Cleveland Cavaliers in 7 games. Having Game 7 at home with Philly is much better. I think LeBron cannot stop Philly on his own, just like you saw in that one regular season game against near the end of the season. Philadelphia 76ers, only also tell you this, they've won 14 games in a row. Their team is pretty damn good. And I think Philly will definitely have a very similar run to what they had, to what the Eagles had, to what the Flyers could do, but more likely won't do. And the Phillies had 20 runs. So Philadelphia is becoming a big sports market. And yeah, I got the 76ers going to the NBA Finals. Call me crazy, but it's going to happen. I just think Philly's much better, and they're going to ride into the NBA Finals versus the Houston Rockets. For my NBA Finals prediction is Houston versus Philly. Houston would have home field advantage. But in the end, Philly, they're just like in Philly, all the things must come to an end. I think Houston would just be way too much for Philly. Even though Philly, the process is going to be very good, getting them to the NBA Finals. And I think the only team that could realistically beat Cleveland in a 7-game series in the Eastern Conference, and in the Western Conference, I think Golden State and Cleveland could beat them. But still, overall, I think that the Sixers, give them a few bit of time, give them a couple of years. I think this could definitely be an NBA Finals caliber team. So give me the Houston Rockets to win in 6 games and win their 3rd NBA championship, with James Harden finally getting the playoff monkey off his back and finally winning the NBA championship on his own. Something that Kevin Durant did now on his own. Russell Westbrook still has to do. Now James Harden will get his first NBA championship. Even though I root for the 76ers die hard, it would come down to Houston and Philly, and I got Houston in 6 games, winning their first NBA championship. So yeah, folks, that's my NBA playoff predictions. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. Who do you think will go to the NBA Finals? And also, question, because I will actually do a little bit of a thing earlier. Will LeBron James go to the Sixers, or will he go to LA, or will he go to Miami? There's plenty of options here. I think if he wanted to, he can definitely go to Philly, but we'll see. That being said, guys, see you guys later. Stay awesome. Have a great night and go Sixers.